Hey guys, John Engel here, and if you watched my last video, I told you that there's a lot of new stuff going on and a lot of news I want to tell you about, and today I start going into it. So before we get started, we talk about a car I sold and 3 cars that I bought. Well, kinda. Stay tuned. Okay, let's just start off with the car that I sold. I know that some of you are familiar with my 2005 BMW Z4. Well, that one is out the door. It actually took me 3 days from the time I listed it to the time I sold it. And I wasn't looking to make money, I was just looking to push it out the door. As you can tell, I've got too many vehicles and not enough space to store it. I think that we can fit somewhere between 14 to 15 cars in storage, meaning the garage upstairs and the garage downstairs. So I really do need to get rid of some cars, even though I sold one and bought 3. What? Yeah, math isn't my strong suit. But anyway, let's talk about what I was thinking. And the first thing I noticed is I own no 4-door cars. Now, my wife has a Mercedes C300 that is our 4-door car, and when we use that, you know, we can bring friends and family and do whatever. But I own none. All of my cars are 2 doors. Now, some of them do have back seats, but it's not quite convenient to have to pull a seat up to let someone get in the back seat. So I was thinking maybe an older Land Rover, a Range Rover, maybe even a Mercedes G-Wagon. What else? A Hummer. I always wanted a Hummer H1. I know that most of these are not practical, and I was going to buy an older one because the prices are low. But my wife heard and found out that I was looking at an SUV, and she said to me, no.
Oh, no, she didn't.
Oh, yes, she did.
No, she didn't.
Yes, she did.
No, she didn't.
Yes, she did, Peter. I just saw it.
All right, take it easy.
And this is the first time my wife has ever said no to me buying a vehicle. So I said, why not? And she goes, because I get the SUV. So before we get into what we actually bought her, let's kind of figure out what happened. Well, you might not have seen this on my channel very much because it was my wife's car. And I say was because when she decided that she wanted an SUV, I somehow bought this from her. Hence why I sold the Z4. I now have a 4-door daily driver, and it is a little newer, less miles, and it's a nicer car. I didn't really want this car, but it kind of fell into place. So, car number 1 that I bought, and we're gonna kind of say I bought it, seeing I bought it from her, is a 2013 Mercedes C300. Now, it's a great car, and it's a good daily driver, but you're probably asking yourself, well, if you bought this and she bought an SUV, what did she get? Let's get to that. There it is. She bought a GLK Mercedes. It's a newer model than the 300. It's got a little more storage room. She loves it. I've been driving it around. It's a great car. It actually drives a lot like the C300, which are basically the same vehicle, actually. I mean, one's got a bigger roof line and can hold more in the back, but ultimately, it's the same drivetrain, same car, so she's really happy with it. And the good thing is it sits up a little higher for her, so she doesn't hit the body panels as much, so that's always good for me. So just by this, you can definitely tell that I'm a Mercedes fan. I think that there are 3 big ones when you're kind of looking at the luxury market, and that's usually BMW, Mercedes, and Jaguar. And I know that there are a slew of other ones that you can throw in there. You can do Infiniti, you could do Lexus, you could do Porsche, Lamborghini has something, Bentley has something. But ultimately, when I was growing up, the 3 luxuries that you would think about: BMW, Mercedes, and Jaguar. Each one of those is totally a different vehicle. So BMWs I always have electrical nightmares with. It's a good car. They always ride stiff. It's a much more sport suspension. So we didn't want to go that route with, again, maybe like an X5 or something like that. Jaguars tend to have the worst depreciation. I do love them. I still have my XKR, but just not what we were looking for. And we ended up with basically the same Mercedes in the SUV version. Drives just like it, as I was saying, and we're really happy. So far, the quality of these have been really good. Haven't had really any issues, knock on wood, and hopefully we'll get a lot of use out of this. But that only shows 2 cars, and I said that I bought 3. And the third one that I bought, well, I gotta tell you, I'm a little excited about. Let's go take a look. And my third vehicle, a Range Rover Evoque. And not only that, but this is the world's most reliable Range Rover. Those other channels like Hoovie's Garage try to say that they bought the cheapest one. Well, this is the world's first, most reliable. Check it out. Starts up every time. Purrs like a kitten. And also has a horn that works. Oh, somebody's gonna get a love out of this. So you might be asking yourself, why the hell did I buy a toy Range Rover? Well, I just found out that my wife is pregnant. We're having a little girl, and I had to buy her her very first car. So you don't get any better than having a Range Rover as your first vehicle. So surprise to you, I don't have a name for her yet, but when she comes, she's already got a car. Anyway, I told you guys there was a lot of news going on, lots of new cars, lots of cars changing positions, and I have a new Range Rover, so I'm pretty excited about that. Anyway, make sure that you subscribe, that way you can keep up with all the craziness, and I'm sure a lot more is gonna happen. So, we'll catch you guys next time.